Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Neavah's YouTube. Okay, so my name's Strawberry. Of course, you know because I'm still holding a strawberry, and I'm new to you guys, just like Ellie was on the first time. I am not scared, but who wants a strawberry? Who wants a strawberry today? Raise your hand if you want a strawberry. I want a strawberry. I love strawberries. Raise your hand if you love eating bananas. Raise your hand if you ever lost a tooth from a banana. An apple. Raise your hand if you ever loved your parents. Raise your hand if you always had a loved one that died. Raise your hand if you love somebody that you had a loved one. Raise your hand if you just feel like it. Raise your hand if you want to stand up. Then stand up. So that's Grandpa. And raise your hand if you love strawberries. Can I get in front of the camera, like right there? Oh, can I stand back here? Raise your hand if you love bunnies. And if you ever catch one. I never catch a bunny, but I love bunnies. Raise your hand if you love bunnies this much. Raise your hand if you ever lost two teeth. Raise your hand if you're a teenager. Raise your hand if you like elephants. Raise your hand if you like monkeys. Raise your hand if you like unicorns. Raise your hand if you love JoJo. Raise your hand if you love elephants. Raise your hand if you love unboxing things and getting toys. Raise your hand if you love toys this much. Raise your hand if you love being on YouTube. Raise your hand if you ever have a white working machine. Raise your hand if you ever had a blackout. Raise your hand if you have a basement. Raise your hand if you have ice cream. Raise your hand if you have a favorite food. What's your favorite food then? My favorite food is broccoli and ice cream. Because those are my favorite foods. Raise your hand if you have a best friend. Raise your hand if you love to buy it. Raise your hand if you have a cupcake. Raise your hand if you if you ever got bitten by a shark. Raise your hand if you ever seen a shark. Raise your hand if you ever been to the beach. Raise your hand if you ever went swimming. Raise your hand if you ever had Christmas. Raise your hand if you have a teddy bear. Raise your hand if you love your Nana. Raise your hand if you got married. Raise your hand if you got a baby. Raise your hand if you have a wife. Raise your hand if you have a grandpa. Raise your hand if you have a great-great-father. Raise your hand if you have a green screen in your YouTube channel. Raise your hand if you love unboxing things. Raise your hand if you ever got bitten by a shark. Raise your hand if you ever had a small vacuum. Raise your hand if you ever had a big bed. Raise your hand if you have a JoJo bed. Raise your hand if you ever got stuck in. Raise your hand if you ever got ridden of a troll. Raise your hand if you ever got rid of a baby troll. Raise your hand if you ever given away toys. Raise your hand if you ever went to karate. Raise your hand if you went to karate as you were a kid. Raise your hand if you got sucked up by a vacuum. Raise your hand if you ever have a heart. Raise your hand if you ever have an organ. Raise your hand if you have a bladder. Raise your hand if you ever have Christmas. Raise your hand if you ever have an S in your name. Raise your hand if you have an N in your name. Raise your hand if you have a U in your name. Raise your hand if you have a letter in your name. I have an N. N's a letter, right? Raise your hand if you ever seen a Triassic-saur. Raise your hand if you ever had spelled fun. Raise your hand if you ever know the letter about fun. It's F, of course. Raise your hand if you know what letter starts with A. Apple. Raise your hand if you start with what letter starts with cat. C. What? Raise your hand if you ever know what letter starts with a B. Dog. Raise your hand if you ever know what the letter of a kite starts with. It's always J. No, it's always K. K. What sound does cake? K make. Raise your hand if you have a question. I love my family and I love all my YouTubers. Raise your hand if you have snacks. Raise your hand if you love candy. A little. Raise your hand if you're diabetic. Raise your hand if you just have a question. Raise your hand if you love your family. Raise your hand if you have a kid. Raise your hand if you were grown up. Raise your hand if you have a YouTube channel. Raise your hand if you're part of making a YouTube channel. Raise your hand if you just feel like it. And then, what color is a monkey? Brown. No, it's brown. I got it right. Now it's your turn to ask a question like I did. What color is a heart? Red. What color is a strawberry? Red. What color is a bunny? Brown. What color? Raise your hand if you know what color a Christmas tree is. Green. Raise your hand if you know what our house of what color our house is. Tan. What color is our on the inside of our house? What color is the rainbow? All different colors. What color is Santa? Red. Raise your hand if you know what Santa looks like. Dolly. Raise your hand if you just feel like it. Raise your hand if you just want to. Raise your hand if you have grape water. Raise your hand if you have a golden lamp. Raise your hand if you have a pink elephant. Raise your hand if you have a spinny toy. Raise your hand if you know what color your wedding dress is going to be. White. Raise your hand if you like to bake cake. Raise your hand if you like to have your family celebrate your birthday. Raise your hand if you know what color a monkey is. Brown. It's brown, Grandpa. Why do you keep saying purple? No. What color is a wrap-up? What color is a burrito? What color is a taco shell? Tan. What color is human skin? Tan. Raise your hand if you watched a scary movie. I have not. Raise your hand if you hate Anna and Elsa. I hate Anna. I hate Frozen. The only part I love about Frozen 2 is where he said Anna, Elsa, Sven, Samantha, and he doesn't even know who Samantha is. And then he says, I got the snacks, and he wears a dress. Hit the subscribe button, hit the link down below, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, please. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Have a great Christmas when it's Christmas. We're out. And I hope you were watching this. This is a very special video. Comment down below and hit that like button. If it's red, click it. Gray is gray is the way to be an awesome YouTuber. I would shoot that. If you are watching this video, please give us good luck. Please give us good luck because this is a dangerous video and it's night, so we're probably going to end this for we're probably going to end this soon, so I hope you enjoy. I hope you were having a good time because I am.